Chapter 10. To live in the midst of civilization and yet remain aloof from its evil influence is not an easy task. The changeover of management at our cannery necessitated my working in the company's Seattle office for a year. We did not live in Seattle, faithful to our guardian's request for only 15 Baha'is in a city. Instead, we moved to Edmonds, where we were needed to maintain their local spiritual assembly, and I commuted to my job. Of all the assemblies I had known and worked with, I can honestly say that the local spiritual assembly in Edmonds, Washington, came the nearest to being a truly spiritual assembly. Love, union, harmony, and always the best interests of the cause of God were the guiding lights of its honored members. I do not want to leave my reader with the impression that these lovers of the one true God were always a peaceful assembly. No, indeed, they were not. Often the clash of differing opinions was a dramatic one, with lightning, spark, and fire, with each and every person always without reservation voicing his or her opinion. Yet all thought, meditation, and prayer were aimed directly at the shining star of service to the cause of God. The year we spent with them will always remain a very beautiful and tender memory. Here we were in a strange land after 11 years in the Aleutians, and of course we had no contacts. I could not see us, in the short period of a year, becoming friends with many people and giving them the life-giving waters of the divine teachings. So I conceived the idea, after much prayer, of running an advertisement in the newspaper under the personal column stating, "If you were not satisfied with your answers regarding religion, please call." This newspaper had a circulation of over 300,000, and the advertisement was successful beyond our wildest dreams. One does not realize the number of people who have deep and soul-searching questions they would like to ask. And now a door was opened, in the atmosphere of anonymity, in which they could seek, yet fear no embarrassment. A few were anxious for further contact, so firesides were arranged in their homes. But the phone rang incessantly, and my wife and I really made up for lost time giving the message day and night. We had a few cranks and a few jokers, of course, but even the ones who called us as a matter of fun became interested once they had joked with them a little and got into the heart of the message. The cost was negligible, and only the future will adequately measure its effect. But for my own part, any one of a number of callers would have been sufficient for all the time and money spent on the project. I will cite one case in particular as an example. When I answered the telephone, a woman was in tears. Through her sobs, she explained that she had just returned from the graveyard where she had buried her husband. She had come home to a big empty house, and all alone did not know where to turn. Then she remembered seeing our ad. What heart-rending anguish she suffered. I reached across the city on that telephone line and comforted that broken heart. I first set her heart at ease about where her husband was by using Abdu'l-Baha's fine example of the garden and God the gardener, the all-knowing, all-wise gardener who knows the exact time to transplant a tender plant into the sun from its shady corner. With infinite tenderness and love, he does this. Yet, to us, plants, left in the garden of life, we do not have the wisdom of God and cry out in our separation. Oh, why did God uproot this most tender plant? As I talked, my heart filled with a tender love and compassion for this sister. I did not know and could not see. Her sobs slowly gave way to calm and certitude. Although I did not even mention Baha'u'llah or the cause of God, I was able to touch her wounded and broken heart with this divine medicine when it was most urgently needed. How I thank God that I was there where I was needed most. At this same time, our local spiritual assembly in Edmonds launched a stupendous proclamation aimed at bringing the faith of God to the attention of 1 million people in the greater Seattle area. I received the bounty of being the coordinator for the entire area, and so was privileged to attend assembly meetings almost every night, sharing with these angels of God our hopes, our plans, and instilling in their blessed hearts enthusiasm for our project. Such love, such unity of purpose, and such a financial response. Driving 40 or 50 miles home at night, I would be overcome with wonder and astonishment at the force inherent in this cause of Baha'u'llah. Potentially, we Baha'is have the power to overcome the combined forces of all mankind. And the key that will release this latent power is the love, unity, and wholehearted cooperation of all the friends. In this effort, all inter-community barriers were destroyed, and even 1 or 2 communities who at first did not care to become involved were eventually swept into the feverish activity of the proclamation. The Baha'is of the entire area, some for the first time, got a glimpse of the worldwide character of our faith. I pray fervently that they will not allow themselves to be returned to that lethargy of provincialism from which they emerged, and will promote the faith wherever the destiny of God will place them: neighborhood, community, city, state, country, and world. United, we Baha'is have a lever strong enough to lift the world completely free of its foundation, but as a lever, it requires all of us to be pulling in the same direction. If one pulls and another pushes, the precious efforts will be cancelled and rendered fruitless. Love, love, unity, unity, peace, peace. The climax of this effort was a large meeting in the Seattle Playhouse, with our speaker none other than Florence Mayberry. But alas, I was destined not to be present for this grand culmination of a project on which we had labored so diligently. We had received word from Haifa that our long dream of pilgrimage was finally to be realized. Upon receipt of the letter from the World Center, we had just $5 in the bank, as every penny and dime we could get had gone into our proclamation. But undaunted, we began the fly now, pay later plan again, and were off to the land of our heart's desire.